Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Kính đảnh lễ chư tôn đức tăng ni, kính thưa quý thiện nam tín nữ Phật tử. Hôm nay là ngày Chủ nhật 10 Tây tháng 12 năm 2023. Đài Hoàng Pháp Channel USA thực hiện cuộc phỏng vấn với Hòa Thượng Thích Giáo, là người sáng lập ra tu viện Thiên Ân. Hôm nay thời tiết bên ngoài 34 độ F, tức là khoảng gần 0 độ C, rất là lạnh, cho nên cuộc phỏng vấn này phải thực hiện bên trong chánh điện. Hòa Thượng Thích Giáo thành lập tu viện Thiên Ân này vào năm 1977. Ngài là một người Mỹ, một nhà trí thức, một nhà tâm lý học, là một giáo sư của trường college, và đến cái vùng đất này trong gần 50 năm về trước rất hoang sơ ở đây để thành lập tu viện này cho người Mỹ có nhân duyên với Phật giáo. Đặc biệt hơn nữa là Hòa Thượng Giáo theo truyền thống của Phật giáo Việt Nam, bên cạnh thầy có thưa thầy Tâm Mừng và thầy Phổ Minh, tất cả những danh từ và pháp danh này cũng đều lấy tên Việt Nam và ngay cả tên của chính Ngài. Good morning, the most venerable. Today we are very happy to come over here to participate with you for the enlightenment ceremony. We have Hoàng Pháp YouTube channel in USA. We would like to interview you in short questions, and you can share with the people around the world know about that. The first, how can you name your meditation center Thiên Ân? Could you explain about that?
In the beginning, we named the center after the Bodhisattva of wisdom. And in 1989, we did our first ceremony to make a monk with the yellow robe. And at that time, we remember my master, Boatung Tek Tianan, and I'd say we changed the name of the temple to remember the first Vietnam monk who come to America. So, you need more?
Yeah, could you share any good memories between you and Vietnamese monk, the most venerable Thiên Ân?
Well, the Master Tianan, I met him because I was living with a Japanese master in Long Beach. And he had gone to Japan. Every year he went to Japan for 2 or 3 months. And there were 2 of us at the temple, running the temple while he was gone. We received an invitation in the mail that they were going to open this temple. And would we please come and celebrate this event with Master Tianan?
Yes.
Well, when I got there, Master Tianan, I always say he loved a parade because he had established a temple for Americans with a very long name, the International Buddhist Meditation Center, which nobody called it that. They called it IMBC because the name too long. And at the time that he named that, now there were no other Vietnamese, anybody here, nobody here.
No Vietnamese
No
here.
Vietnamese.
Yes.
And one of his friends said, your name's too big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Master Tianan studied in Japan, and he went there and he got 3 college degrees. The final degree he received was PhD.
Yes.
But he lived in Japan a long time. And he wrote some books on Buddhism in Japan. And he would go to school, and when they would take a break, he would stay at Japan Temple. So he could talk Japanese very good. And when he got to America, there was some Japanese monks here. And I could walk from the American temple to the Japanese temple, and they became very good friends, and that was one of the first Japanese temple there in Los Angeles, and it was the Zen temple of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then a Korean monk came here.
Oh, really?
Yes, Suin Sansanim. And I didn't know for a long time, but Suin Sansanim, he spoke Japanese very well.
Wonderful.
And so the three of them were friends always. And later on, when I studied with Tianan, every year we would get together and have a celebration together.
Oh, in Los Angeles?
Yeah. And one would give talk, another would make lunch,
Oh, wow.
another we'd go to his temple.
That's very good memory about.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
master.
So that was his lesson. His lesson was, don't separate people because of where they come from. Don't separate people because who they are. And when his friend said, oh, you start this temple for Americans, too big a name, International Buddhist Meditation Center. When I went there for the celebration, it was not for that. It was for the Vietnam temple, Chùa, Vietnam, Los Angeles.
Okay.
The first Vietnam temple in America.
Yes.
And at that time, Tianan had at the American temple, a Japanese teacher, a Vietnamese teacher, a Korean teacher, a Thai teacher.
Oh, really?
And they all taught meditation.
Okay.
And any monk could live at his temple as long as they taught a class. That was the rule. They had to teach a class, meditation or Dharma.
Yes.
So my Japanese teacher became sick, had very bad stroke. And I'm not done. I had not been a monk long enough.
Okay.
And so I go to the Japanese temple in LA, door locked. They say, go away, we do retreat.
Oh, I see.
So I get back on my motorcycle and I go, well, I go back home to Long Beach. I had a little home temple there now. So, and I think, oh, that Vietnamese monk.
Yes.
I'll go see if I can see him. I need a teacher.
I see.
And I went by the American Vietnamese temple, and I met some people there, and they said, why are you here? Well, I'm almost a monk. Not a monk yet.
Yeah.
Almost.
Just practice monk.
Yeah. And I said, I need a teacher. And one lady, she said, I work in the office. She a nun. So I work in the office, make an appointment Monday.
She is Vietnamese nun? American?
No, American.
American nun.
American, yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Two American monks and one nun. And they just finished meditation.
I see.
So I go on Monday, and I meet Tianan.
Yeah.
And I tell him, I'm not done. I need to be trained. And I talk to him. When he passed away, he died very early in his 50s from cancer. We did a memorial book, and my comment was, he was the most normal man I ever meet. Tianan was not special. You're special. But Tianan was not special.
Why?
Tianan was right on the ground. He knew where he was.
Yeah.
And he say, Buddhism is not about you're better, I'm better, he's better. Buddhism is about love. Buddhism about taking care of people.
Okay.
I never saw him angry.
Yeah.
I saw people angry at him.
Oh, really?
But I never saw him get angry back.
Oh, that's a Buddhism.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
And he built a center, and he had over 40 people living there.
Wow.
He had, I was very proud of my master.
Oh.
He had 3 ladies living there that had had a husband that beat on them. And they had children. And they were almost mentally sick. And he'd bring them there and say, everything's okay. It's all right. Don't worry. Nobody will hurt you. Everything's fine. And that's the way he treated everyone. And he received criticism. He said, people say, you have crazy people here. He said, where shall they go? Where else shall they go, if not here? And years ago, one of my people said to me, how come we always have people come here with problems at this temple?
Yeah.
And I said, where do you want them to go? Who else will take them? And that was the teaching of Thiên.
Yeah.
You know, Buddha take care of everyone. So I look at him and I think I can follow him because he's so normal. And he loved the parade.
Yeah.
You know, the Watung hat. He loved to wear that hat, or the Bodhisattva hat. He would do a parade for 2 blocks in Los Angeles.
Really?
He'd get the police to close it off, 2 blocks.
On the Buddha birthday?
Yeah. We got quantum statue for the nuns temple, and he had a Tibetan. You know how the Tibetans have the big horn? Yeah. I got to carry that.
Really?
Yeah.
And you do that too?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And when he passed away, I think I get that horn. I like that horn.
Yeah.
But the nun who take over, I say, what do you do with the Tibetan horn? She say, oh, I give it to Geshe Gestalta.
Geshe.
Oh, you gave it to Tibetan. Okay, that's good. But when I ordained, it was not just Vietnam monks. I had a Tibetan monk.
Yeah.
Part of the masters, Japanese monk, Korean monk, Thai monk, Sri Lankan monk. They all were there on the platform for me.
Oh, really?
And that was Tianan's way. He say we all the same. Monk is a monk.
Yes. We come from different cultures, countries, races.
Yeah,
but we are the same. We are monks.
Yeah. He said, don't get confused. People would come and say, well, this is better. No better. Different. Only different. That was his teaching.
Yeah.
That's a long answer, huh?
Oh, see, that's very good answers. Very good memory. You too. Hòa Thượng, could you share with us about almost 40 years to build up Thiên Yen Center in here?
Well, we, when we come out here, Vietnam people, of course, there were Vietnam people when I went there for the opening of the Vietnam temple. And American temple, they sponsor, a lot, almost 200 refugees. They slept in closets and hallways. They make a bed.
Yeah.
The back porch of the buildings, everywhere we could put them. But the Vietnam people, they went off. I was very surprised. They went to Galveston. So the people that work as fishermen in Vietnam, they go to Galveston because that's where they fish. And all the different places they went. And Americans, I tell people, when I was a kid in high school, before I became Buddhist when I was still in high school. But we'll go to church, and the dad would put $5 in a plate. They pass it around.
Oh, in the church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say, okay, help the church. He put $5. 50 years later, I asked somebody, how much you put in a plate? He said $5. I say, that's the same as you did 50 years ago.
Right.
He said, oh, well, you know, I don't have much money. So Americans, I have a little place, first in Long Beach and here, and I get enough money every month to buy a box of incense. They don't make much in the way of donation. So in the beginning, I repair cars for a living. And that's how I pay for temple.
Okay.
And that's how I bought this place.
You repair the car, eh?
Yeah.
For like mechanic or just in general?
Yeah. Master mechanic.
Yeah.
And then I went back to school. I'd already gone to college. I went back to school, and I got my teaching credential. And then I taught school for 28 years.
I see.
And people would say, how do you pay for this place? And I'd reach in my back pocket, get my wallet, and I say, there's how I pay for this place.
Okay.
So that was, and then one day, I used to go to Orange County every Friday, and I'd teach meditation.
I see.
A Vietnam monk friend of mine have a temple on Magnolia, and he invited me. He wanted me to live with him. I said, well, I can't. I say, I build this place. And we have a few people come here. At first, I think we just come for like a weekend, get out of city. That's what I might think of. And then people here say, how come you don't have meditation classes except for retreat? And I say, well, you want? Yes. So we started doing that. And I was able to support the temple. I never worried about it.
Okay.
I went to work.
Yeah.
I have a paycheck.
Yeah.
I pay bills.
And you build extended for the temple.
Yeah. But then one day, a grandma, an old Vietnam lady, she remembered me from one of the temples in Orange County.
Yeah.
And she say to her niece, she say, I want to go see that American monk. I not see him in a long time.
Yeah.
So they come out here. And at that time, the roof in our Buddha hall, when it rained inside. And the roof was ready to fall in.
Yes. So windy in here. Yeah.
Yeah, and they come here and they say, do you need anything? First time anybody ever asked me, do you need anything?
Wow.
And I said,
I'm sorry.
yes, my roof gonna fall in. And I had stuff I put around the edge. Everything was ready to fall in. I said, I need a new roof. No, I'm fine. I need a new roof. They collected the money. They say, how much money? I say, oh, maybe $1,500. Oh, no. It cost you $5,000, $6,000, new roof. I say, no, I do myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know how to do?
Yep.
Really?
I do everything here.
Really? You learn by what? By yourself or by the books? Or
well, by book. I had a monk with me. He didn't know as much as I did. We buy book. At night, we read book. Daytime, we go out and make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know? But we read book on how to build.
Yeah.
We buy a book on how to do concrete. I lay this concrete. We sit on this concrete right now.
Wow.
Out here with the big thing, you know, doing this. And so we had done everything. Sometime we make a mistake, we have to redo it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they give me money. And that lady, we go along, and that lady, she'd come by again. She used to have a house in Apple Valley.
Yeah.
Vietnam lady, and she say, "You need other help?" And I said, "Well, yes. We had a water well here when we bought, and the water well stopped working. So I had to run 500 feet of pipe to our next door neighbor to borrow water because the well's so expensive."
I see.
And that lady, UT, she said, "We'll do a fundraiser." So what do you talk about?
Yeah.
And she said, and I remember because Tianan did fundraiser. We go to a Chinese restaurant, and he raised money for the American temple. And you know what he had me do? I don't get to eat. I walk around with my guitar and I sing songs to them as they eat.
Oh, really?
I just remember that. Yeah. So, you know, and he did fundraiser to raise money to have so he could do more in America. So we have fundraiser, we raise money, and we get brand new well. $18,000. Wow.
What's the year?
Oh, God. I don't remember anymore. You know, I'm getting a little older now.
You still really good memory.
Long time ago, I
The
remember
reasons I
good.
ask the years, I compare with right now, you know, maybe 50,000, right? It costs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had that. And then I heard Tai Phop Chow. I meet him when he get off airplane. I used to know all the Vietnam monks, the old ones, because they would always come to LA first, and then once they got settled, then Tianan would take them to a temple someplace, maybe in Texas, you know, maybe in Washington they would go.
Yeah.
But he'd make them take an English class. I don't think anybody makes the young monks take an English class anymore. They should. I think all Vietnam monks should have to have English.
Absolutely, you know.
Because I worry a lot about the kids.
Yes.
This is number one worry. I see these beautiful children who don't speak Vietnamese.
Many.
So they don't learn Buddha.
Yes.
You know? So, but the monk's job is the English, like you. Perfect English.
Thank you. I try the best.
Yeah. So I go down, I hear that he's building a temple. And everybody at first, they buy a house. And they put a Buddha in the living room.
Right.
And then 20 years later, they have money, they can build a house, they can build a temple. So I asked a friend, I said, take me down to Orange County. I want to see that new temple that's going to be built. And I walk in, and I know this monk. And he says, oh, come live here. Oh, come teach here. And I say, I can't. I have temple in desert.
Right.
And I say, I don't trust my car. Wow. I had an old beat-up car.
It's very far. Right?
Yeah. So I said, when I have a good enough car, I will come down and teach a class for you. And next year, I got a car that I trusted. It only broke down one time.
Oh, on the freeway?
On the freeway.
Oh, really? Yeah. But no accident?
No accident.
Oh, that's lucky.
And so I would go for 5 years. Every Friday, I would go down there. He had a room I could sleep in.
Yeah.
And I would teach meditation on Friday night. And we do Buddha Sutra on Saturday morning.
Wow.
And then another friend I make, he invite me to hits the temple. He have young monks. So then I go there in the afternoon, and I teach them sutra in English, and we do meditation. I say, Americans love meditation. You know, one time I go to a big gathering of Vietnam monks. You invite me. I think I was the only American monk there.
Yeah.
And they said, how do you get Americans to come to the temple? I say, put a sign outside, say free meditation.
Yeah.
Americans love meditation.
Yes.
And then once they come in, you give them a little bit of Buddha. Just a little bit, not too much. Don't scare them. And teach them meditation.
Okay, today we celebrate the Buddha enlightenment.
Yes.
We would like to invite you to give the message to the people around the world for the day today.
For today? Well, the Buddha's enlightenment was we were all the same. He say to the people, because back then, forever, we hurt each other. We war with each other. We shoot each other. And now we see it again. Always there's a war someplace. Always people are getting hurt. I was watching a documentary, and this reporter said he went to see the soldiers in Afghanistan. And he talked about how they cried. He said, soldiers cry. Where people that are not soldiers, they say, let's go get them. Let's go kill them. But soldiers don't enjoy that. And I thought about that. I thought, soldiers cry. When I was in Vietnam, and I was there in 65 and 66 as a soldier.
Yeah.
And we cried.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And many of the soldiers now, they go back to Vietnam and they meet the soldiers that were in the war. And we love each other.
Yeah.
I have a friend, he lost his leg in Vietnam. And he'd been back 3 times. Maybe we could skip the war. The Buddha say love each other.
Right.
You don't need a war to learn how to cry. You know, I think back then, some of the people, I think of the nurses and what they had to endure, a lot more than soldiers did. They had to see what happened during the war. And we have 2 wars going on right now. And when are we going to stop? And, you know, it's like this thing in Israel. And one side says, I'm better than the other side.
Yes.
And I don't understand what's going on in Russia. Just a lot of hate.
Yes.
And the Buddha said, you can't do that. Because we're all the same.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we're not. We're better. We're better. We're good. What did the Buddha say? He said, when you cry, your tears are salty.
Yes.
Your tears are salty, my tears are salty. No difference.
Yeah.
He say, if I cut you, you bleed red.
Right.
If I cut me, I bleed red.
Right.
Where is the difference? You know, 2,600 years ago, the Buddha understood what science now understands. There's no such thing as race.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't exist. We made it up. It's a story we told children. You're not different than me because everything about you is the same as me. If we look at the little tiny parts of us,
right,
we are the same. We have the same genes. We have the same biology.
Right.
And we can't find anything that's different. It's like with the blacks. There's no difference. Their skin's just different.
Okay.
What's the skin? Skin's nothing.
Right.
You know? And you go Asia, eye a little different. You know why eye different? Keep dirt out of eye. That's the only reason why. Not better, not worse. Just keep dirt out of eye.
Right.
Because those Asians, they ride horses and a very dirty air blow in their face. So the Buddha say, there's no difference. How did he know this? Said 2,600 years ago.
Right.
But he did know it. In India at that time, they want to have outcaste system. Already they say outcaste system. they say, oh, you have dark skin. You're not as good as me. We didn't invent that. 2,600 years ago. So what did the Buddha do? What did he say? He said to an outcast, come to the river and I wash you.
Okay.
Now, take off your clothes, I give you monk's clothes. Say after me, I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dharma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Now you are a monk. And what did his relatives say? Oh, no, you can't do that. We are very special. And the Buddha say, no, we're not special. We're all the same. Salty tears,
Yes.
red blood.
Red blood. The same. Yes.
The same.
Yeah. Because we have an ego.
Yep. Got
Ego
a big-
build the river. Ego build the wall.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, we got big ego. Want
Yeah.
to be special.
Yeah. Big ego.
You know, Americans need to learn that. Even Buddhist Americans. They worry too much about titles.
Yes.
You know, I see you Watung, and you laugh. And you call me Watung, and you laugh. We just monks.
Yes.
Yeah,
We simple monk.
simple monks.
Yes.
We
are.
offer incense. We give food to those that are hungry. We listen to those that need to talk.
Right.
Most of the time we be quiet,
Right.
except me, because I talk too much.
No. But you keep silence more of the times by yourself, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yes. Thank you very much for your message on the day of Buddha enlightenment today.
Okay.
We celebrate, represent for Hoàng Pháp YouTube channel. Many thanks, Hòa Thượng, and Thầy Tâm Mừng, other monks, and Thầy Tâm Mừng, Thầy Phổ Minh.